So body art as well. Come in, this gentleman on my right. Okay, this is good. So we've got Grace here and body art here. And that's nice, actually. So I can see your tongues now. Hang on, your tongue to show me is a split tongue. May I see yours? Oh! Let me do that again for the camera. Grace, sorry. Right.
And Jeremy.
Yeah? Oh, you've got a hole in your chin. Is that called a body tunnel?
It's called a flesh tunnel. And that's a body jewellery.
Show Storm your flesh tunnel. Okay. Now, the other... we could talk for ages about this. Just to say, you've both done things to your eyes as well. So, Grace, we need a little close-up here of Grace's eyes. If you just look into the camera, can you see what's happened to the whites of Grace's eyes there? Beautiful. So they are... Is it blue? Is it a certain kind of blue?
Yeah, some people say blue, some people say purple, but...
That's amazing.
Violet-y purple, yeah.
Yeah. Why did you decide to have that done?
Body modification was something that I was exposed to as a young child because my mum had lots of books on tribal culture and body modification within that. So being exposed to that as a young child, kind of had a different ideal of what I thought was beautiful, and then got a bit older into my teens, found this website called BME, which was like a forum for people like me who like the things I like, and it's a safe space for them to talk about and share their experiences. And through that, I just met body modification artists who I trusted.
And how did the eyes happen? Was it an injection or is it permanent?
Yes, and it's very risky.
It's very risky?
Yes, there's an extremely high risk in getting
of what?
tattoos. Of going blind. There's
oh
so
my
many
goodness.
things that can go wrong.
Grace,
but I just
if I was
want to
your mum, I'd say no, darling, don't. Your eyes are precious.
They are, but I was prepared to take the risk because this is what I wanted to do for my own creativity and to express myself. And I knew all the risks. I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I waited about a year and a half after I had my initial consultation until I got it done. But no, I knew exactly what I was in for.
All right. Well, it's stunning. You've got it looks like a nail in your forehead. What's that?
That's a transdermal discus that Dr. Evil put in for me.
So crucially, you were a patient of Dr. Evil?
I'm deemed a consensual abuse victim under law now because of this regulational situation.
So I wondered, did you have to go into court to give evidence?
No, I was not called. I was actually approached by West Midlands Police to actually testify or give a statement, which I declined to do at the time.
And you've got, look, if you look into the camera, you've got the eyes as well. So this gentleman is known as body art.
Yeah, my scleras are stained. I'm uncomfortable with it known as an eyeball tattoo because tattooists won't tattoo an eyeball. I researched it for 15 years. Actually, at the age of 15, I was telling people if I could find a person that would do it, and I'd done...
Just look in there and just open your eyes a bit so we can see, just so the viewers can see that.
So I'd done historical reference and found it dates back over 2,000 years, but mostly with people that have, like, sight visions.
Yeah. What reaction do you get to these tattoos?
A lot of people are curious why I've done it and stuff, or some people are like, that's very extreme.
Is there not an issue with this plug that you've got underneath there's a hole there?
Yeah, we actually cut through that. Yet again, this is something that he was not charged for. Brendan done this. It's very unfair that he's been charged for GBH. He done this, and I'm totally happy with it. I gave full consent, but I also believe regulation should be brought in.
We've got some photos of the actual procedures. If you're watching at home and you think that this is too much, you might want to just have a second where you shut your eyes, and we can let's have a look at. So is that you, body art? Yes, it is.
My tongue is almost healed.
And I heard that he did the tongue splitting without anaesthetic.
No, this is an urban myth, which I think a lot of people in the community are now going to... Because a lot of people wouldn't actually talk about it. I actually did have local anaesthetic with a lot of the procedures, like even my nipple removal.
Of course, I forgot your nipples have been removed.
Yes, both of them, and my ears. I had one ear done and one ear shaped by him.
Can I just look round? Oh, I see.
So,
Storm, what do you think?
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's
but you could go to Harley Street, like what the doctor says, the GMC, but the Department of Health, I've had contact with the Department of Health. Their response to me was, we are not technically qualified to say whether these practitioners are operating out of the legal framework. He's been practising for 10 years.
Have you had your ears adjusted?
I've had my ears pointed.
Oh, let me see, because I may... Right, let's see. And
I had my earlobes removed.
Just stay, that's right, just stay there so we can just see... So that's, and pull your hair back a little bit more for the camera if you can, Grace. So that, and I shouldn't have said Dr. Spock because of course it's a beautiful thing. But why have your ears pointed? Yeah.
Because I like the aesthetic of it, you know.
Yeah.
Just like women go out and get breast augmentation or they get butt lifts or whatever, you know. It's just an expression. It's a way I want to look. It's a way I feel comfortable.
And what do you think of the conviction of Dr. Evil?
I don't think he should go. I don't think he should be charged. No.
Because I don't know who did yours, but they would start to worry now. You don't have to say. They might start to worry. What do you think of it?
He's even come out and said it's going to go more underground now. So whilst they were acting in the public's interest...
This is why it's a problem that they're prosecuting him in the way that they're doing it, because he hasn't actually done anything wrong, he hasn't caused any harm to anyone, and they're still wanting to charge him with GBH, when what they should be doing is trying to regulate the whole industry, so people like Dr. Evil can get licensing and practice.
But the thing is that you're in the law, you've asked for your body. The law sees you as your body as damaged, and it sees you as having asked for someone to damage it, and it's now convicting the person who's damaged it. That's kind of crazy, but there's a sort of a strange logic.
It's insulting.
Insulting.
There is no Royal College of Body Modification, though, whilst there's a Royal College of Surgeons and a GMC.
But there's a reason for that, which is that the royal family wouldn't put their name to it.
But, okay, the British Institute of Body Alteration practitioners, there's a market for it now.
Storm, what are we getting?
Well, we're getting plenty of messages on this, mixed views. Nick raises the point of consent, saying he has done what many people do, and the people that he did it to have given their consent. Steph tweets, the focus really should be on the ones that asked him to do it. They need some kind of psychiatric assessment. Sorry about this, I feel bad saying this with you sitting next to me.
I suffer from ADHD, by the way. That's the only diagnosis I actually have.
Okay. Well, Steph goes on to say, if he'd said no, they'd have just gone to someone else to do it. Who the hell would want to remove their ears? Well, we've heard from people. And Carlene thinks that if people were stupid enough to ask him to do it, then he did it safely and hygienically, then what's the problem? And Angela has no sympathy, saying anyone else who carried out surgical procedures without the required qualifications or after being struck off would be prosecuted. So mixed views on this one. We're going to head to the phones now and speak to Val from the West Midlands.
Just before we hear from Val, Munro, you wanted to say something?
I think we just need to just allow people to live and look how they want to look. And some people think that I'm crazy for transitioning, and I've had implants in my breast and implants in my lips, but I've decided to do that. And also I'm protected by a regulated system. Exactly. And if, back in the day, transgender people were transitioning on the black market and putting themselves in harm's way because there just wasn't a system to protect
Let's
us.
go to Val. Val, hi.
Good morning.
What do you think?
I've just switched it on and I could not believe what I saw you sitting next to.
Oh, well,
come on.
Two human beings there, Val.
Really, yeah, it looked lovely, but to have it done permanently, is that the future of our world?
Well, if it is, why is that a problem?
A little bit uncomfortable.
Well, I've never seen anyone with body modifications on Crime Watch.
So it's a personal choice. It's down to the individual.
Yeah. But I just feel as though it's going a little bit too far, maybe. Travelling on the bus or something and sitting next to... I'd be frightened, I think.
Oh, OK.
Are you trying to Martin Luther King us in some kind of way? You wouldn't want to sit next to us? You wouldn't want to have a conversation with us?
Not like that. I think it looks...
Go on, Val.
I think it's fine. People have a choice. But at the same time, I think it needs to be a bit more... we need to merge in with the normal sort of public.
Is it normal boring, though?
I don't know. Boring,
Yeah, I don't know. Val, one of the things we sort of discovered is no one's normal. But maybe if you feel that you would be scared, that's entirely your right. You're allowed to be scared. Thank you. Another caller, Storm.
Next, we're going to speak to Jamie in South Yorkshire, who doesn't see anything wrong with it.
Go on, Jamie.
Morning. Basically, I don't see absolutely anything wrong with it.
Have you got any body modifications yourself?
I do not know. I just have an ear piercing, but basically, I would not trust anybody else apart from Dr. Evil.
Right. Would you consider having a nipple removed?
If that was my choice, then yes, I would, yes.
You wouldn't worry about someone doing it who wasn't that qualified?
No, basically, Matt McCarthy, he is the best person at what he does. But I would just not trust anybody else rather than him.
Well, thank you, Jamie. I wanted to ask you, Grace, your tongue splitting, doesn't it affect your speech?
No, not at all.
How's that? Because I always think the tongue is so sensitive to
Well, your tongue is two muscles stuck together, so actually when you cut it, it's very natural for it to move independently.
Can I just throw something in
Yeah,
here?
go on.
The parallel to this is the way that cosmetic surgery or cosmetic enhancement grew up. The fact is people were doing it like hairdressers and all sorts of people, and regulation has followed as a result. I think there is obviously a need for this. There are people who want it, and what we need to do is have a framework of regulation and make sure people who practice it are actually qualified.
And they're probably.
Well, the answer to it, you know, this is regulation by customer. If they're happy, you don't need regulations.
No, I don't.
It's like hairdressers don't need
No, I don't
regulations.
think so.
We need
Because-
the law to support and protect people. And also, as a country, we need to understand that different people are different. And just because, you know, you may think in a certain way doesn't mean, you know, the next person does. And it's just a mutual respect we need to have.
Sure.
That everybody is a person.
And maybe stipulate the boundaries as well. If someone walked in and said, can you cut my finger off? You know, at what point does it become...
Well, they need to be trained to cut your finger off.
Yeah, go on quickly.
I
Yeah.
heard something on the radio yesterday as well, where someone rung in, they were talking about body modification, and everyone seems to have their own idea of what is too much. But when we're talking about this, you can't dictate to other people what is too much for
Absolutely.
them. I can't tell someone if they come to me, I feel like I really want to cut my leg off. I can't tell them that person's wrong. Like, I hear that people think that's crazy, but some people do feel like that. Some people feel that they don't want to fit into, they don't want to subscribe to this ideal of beauty that is rammed down our throats every day through the TV.
So if you,
media.
Grace, if you wanted your leg cut off there, and you were of
I should
sound
be allowed
mind,
to do
you
that.
should be allowed to do that.
Can I
Okay,
just say,
thank you.
Jeremy,
Go
Can I
on
just
quickly.
That would cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, thank you,
There is
Gemma.
also-
Let's go on very quickly.
Body dysmorphia, body integrity,
Yes, I know. We
mental
know about
health
that.
as well.
Thank you. That's all we've got time for.